Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, guys? It's your boy RHOC. We are back with another video. I want to thank everyone so much for tuning into the channel. I really appreciate the love. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell button, because honestly, you won't want to miss a single bit of the news and gossip and commentary that we got coming your way 5 days a week. Make sure you guys also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJRichieSkye. Now, today we're going to be talking about Nene Leakes. She's back to posting her, flyers on Instagram, and you guys will see exactly what I mean in just 1 second. And we have a Married to Medicine star weighing in on what she's saying, so you got to stick around for that. We're also going to be talking about Real Housewives of Orange County. Some really deep stuff is happening with Gina Kirschenheiter and this whole situation with the domestic violence that's ongoing as we speak. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that as well. But first, I want to ask you guys a question, because I want this channel to be a lot about more than just Housewives of Atlanta news. I tend to talk about that first, right? Because I know a lot of you guys are interested in that, and then I branch off into the other shows that I'm also interested in that I think you might be interested in as well. So, and I know I told you guys I was gonna start a personal channel, but what I wanted to know is, would you guys prefer more personal type content on the weekends, and then during the week we do news related events and that sort of thing? Or would you guys prefer a personal channel altogether that's separate from this channel? I'm just having a hard time trying to decide what to do in regards to that, because there's some things that I actually want to do that I think are going to be quite fun, vlogs and behind the scenes and that sort of things, and showing you guys a little bit more of what I have going on that I think you might be interested in, or that I think that might be interesting to some of you guys out there. So just let me know in the comments what you guys think and what you guys would prefer. I would really love to hear your feedback, and if there are other shows that you want me to cover as well, I would love to know what those are, because I want to give you guys the best content possible. All right, so let's get into the news. So the Atlanta Black star is reporting that Nene Leakes posts a message that seemingly shades her Real Housewives of Atlanta co-stars, and guess who? MARIAH HUQ from Married to Medicine is weighing in. Let's get into this right now. All right, so it says that the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes has resumed posting her famous pink flyers, and her newest message appears to take aim at her co-stars. Leakes shared the flyer on June 25th that read, "We must learn who is gold and who is simply gold-plated." Now, several followers hated on Leakes' message and blamed her for the distance between herself and her co-stars she famously unfollowed on Instagram. Leakes made the move back in March and claimed castmates Cynthia Bailey, Portia Williams, Kandi Burruss, Eva Marcel, and Tanya Sam did not support her as she dealt with her husband Greg Leakes' cancer battle. "They kicking it without you, one monkey don't stop no money or friends. It's not all about you, Nene," one fan said. "When you're miserable in your marriage, you become a monster. It's not the other lady's fault that you're unhappy. It's only when things go well for you that you're okay. Learn to be happy even when you're not. Nene, grow up, damn." However, not everyone took it as a chance to bash Nene. The post even struck a nerve with Married to Medicine star MARIAH HUQ. She said, "You better speak on it, child size. Shaking my head. If only we could learn to stick together like most other cultures. Iron sharpens iron," commented HUQ. She has had issues of her own with Bravo's Theory's co-star and friend turned foe, Quad Webb Lunsford. During the drama-filled reunion in January, HUQ took major issue with the Sister Circle host when Miss Quad alleged that she caught MARIAH HUQ snorting cocaine. "I do not, nor have I ever used illicit recreational drugs of any kind," HUQ said in an Instagram statement, where she described Quad's claims as malicious and deceitful attacks to my personal character and integrity. Others felt the Real Housewives of Atlanta star's message and resonated with them too. Some say louder for the folks in the back. Some say yes, and it is just sad. Some said, amen, thank God I am gold, so are you, my queen. All right, so let's really get into it, okay? Because I want to discuss a couple of things. And it's some things that I notice in the comments sometimes that people will write, and they'll say something is clickbait, yada, yada, yada. And I'm basing this on what I saw with the title here that they have provided for us. Now, I don't look at anything as clickbait because I work in news and I've worked in media for quite some time. What they're doing here is they're just attracting you to something that may be of interest to you as a viewer, or to you as a fan, or to me as someone who is commentating on the topic. And I feel like it's relevant. Why? Because social media is very prevalent in the lives of a lot of our housewives, particularly people like Nene, who often voices her opinions via social media. Let's just face it. And so she is someone who keeps us interested because we don't know whether or not her posts are about herself, her castmates, people she knows, people she works with. And this is one of the reasons why she is such a polarizing and fascinating figure, because she is always leaving us little breadcrumbs to try to decipher what's actually going on behind the scenes. And a lot of times that which we are deciphering is often true. So if we look at last season when she was speaking about Greg, and that became a major part of her storyline with Greg during the show. We can look at the previous year where she had her issues with RHOC, and that played out on social media, and it got so big that the ladies reacted to what was going on in social media when they actually got to Barcelona. So that's the reason why a lot of times you will see blogs and you'll see news outlets reporting on something that one of the ladies posts on social media, and why we choose to dissect it, okay? So I wanted to really get into that because I wanted to provide clarity for a lot of people who may not know. So getting into what she said and why she said it, you know, it's a very true statement. You know what I'm saying? Because it really talks about who's really real in this industry, or who's really gold and who's gold plated. Think about it like this. Think about people that you know and that you see on social media all the time. And that's one of the reasons why, to be quite honest with you guys, I haven't really posted a lot in the past couple of months on social media, only really when necessary, whereas I used to do it every day. And I'm gonna try to get back to doing it every day because I feel like it lets people into your world, particularly as I get to communicate more with you guys. A lot of you guys are beginning to follow me on social media, and I really love that. So it gives me a reason. It gives me more purpose now, because I don't wanna just be out here fronting for the gram. That's not who I am. And if you follow me, I feel like you will know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody who tries to keep it very real in terms of with what I'm doing. And I feel like she is someone who often does the same. And I feel like she is, whether you like her or loathe her, Nene is Nene all day long. What you see is what you get. And I feel like she's implying that not everybody that we see are we getting the real them. So this should be very interesting as the season plays out on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm very interested to see who she's talking about. I want to actually address MARIAH. It's funny that MARIAH is chiming in on this. We know that from the rumor mill that Married to Medicine has wrapped their season, and they will be getting a promo very soon for the new season. Yes, I, for one, am very excited about this because Married to Medicine is as real as they come in terms of the issues with their relationships. I really love that about that show. They really do get into the issues of being married and what that means. And if any of you guys out there are interested in the reality of real relationships and marriages, please watch that show. Not to mention that the drama is always on 100, okay? And from what I'm hearing, MARIAH is in the hot seat this season. So we got to stay tuned for that. So I'm wondering if MARIAH was actually referring to some things that were going on in her cast as well. But it's funny to me that MARIAH is saying that iron sharpens iron, because in the beginning of this series, she was probably one of the most combative people on the show, especially being the creator. And in my mind, I often wonder if being a creator of the show and a producer is really conducive to really being a good cast member. However, I will say that in the past several seasons, Mariah has definitely been delivering, and I'm excited about that. Much like Shawnee, I feel like Shawnee is now more a part of the show and less of a spectator or narrator than she used to be. So I'm excited about her role on that as well. And side note, the reason I'm not reviewing Basketball Wives today is because I'm trying to find another outlet to watch Basketball Wives because I can't do it online. I may just end up getting Hulu Live because I feel like I can actually watch it there, but I'm gonna have to check on that. I don't have cable, guys, because I don't want to pay $200 for that. I think it's insane how much cable is. So I typically watch the shows online, just for those of you guys who wonder, how I do my recaps. And I enjoy letting you guys know the reality of what I do and how I do it and why I do it, because I want to be transparent, okay? I want to move on to the Real Housewives of Orange County and this whole situation going on with Gina Kirschenheiter and her estranged husband, who she has filed a protective order against because of domestic violence. As the new season of the Real Housewives of Orange County is set to premiere August 6th, I feel like this is an insane way of drumming up attention for the show. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just happening, and it's unfortunate, but let's get into it. So our good friends at Reality Blurb are reporting that Gina Kirschenheiter is alleging in court documents that the recent incident of alleged domestic violence involving her estranged husband, Matt Kirschenheiter, was not the first time as the Real Housewives of Orange County star prepares to fight for full custody of their 3 children. In recently released court documents, Gina claims Matt became enraged after they attended a friend's birthday over the weekend. She admitted that it wasn't the first time things got ugly between them. He was so angry, he was profusely sweating from head to toe. I was terrified, Gina said of the June 22nd incident in her court documents via Us Weekly. Matthew was screaming in my face, saying he was going to effing kill me. He ripped my bra strap off, then took a pillow and hit me on the side of the head with it hard. My ears rang. I begged him to stop, to calm down, but he kept hitting me. Even when I was begging and pleading with him to stop because our children were home too, it had no effect on him. Gina and Matt share 3 children, including Nicholas, 7, Sienna, 5, and Luca, 3. Gina went on to reveal prior incidents of alleged domestic abuse, stating that she and Matt began arguing after separating last summer. In August, an incident involving much more than violence occurred after they attempted to make an agreement regarding the living arrangements of their kids. So she's basically alleging that there was also a moment where he grabbed a weapon and he was attempting to, he was doing something with it, she does not know what. So this situation is very, very serious. And guys, domestic abuse is something that it really tears people apart. You understand what I'm saying? So I really feel for her as we head into the new season of the Real Housewives of Orange County. My only advice in this situation is, girl, go with your first instincts. This man was never around you. He was never home. He spent his weeks in LA while you were in Orange County, and then he only came home on the weekends. If he did that, and you had to go see him if you wanted to see him, that was not your husband, that was your homie. And at the end of the day, what you need to do is simply get out of the situation. And that's my advice to anybody who's involved in any type of domestic issue, situation. The person hit, pushed, mushed, tapped you, grabbed you roughly, whatever you feel like has happened, just let that situation go. Now I want to talk about Andy Cohen really quickly, describing what makes an ideal housewife and what gets a housewife fired. So, once again, our friends at Reality Blurb are indicating that Andy Cohen is opening up about the decision making that goes into the casting of the Real Housewives shows. During a new interview, the Watch What Happens Live host revealed why certain housewives get fired before revealing what it takes to maintain a full-time role on the show. He also explained his complicated relationships with many women of his hit franchise. He says that if they become turnoffs to viewers for whatever reason, they appear too fake, they're not interesting, they're not entertaining, they're no longer a fit. Andy told Paper Magazine of why someone will get booted from the show. When people cross the line and it becomes unreal, that's when they are out. As for the ideal housewife, Andy says she has to be funny, unique, and interesting to watch. Someone who has something to say and is different, surprising, and just watchable, he continued. There's a fine line between people who are desperate to be on reality television and people who you want to watch on reality television. The Venn diagram of desperation and watchable, it's a very slim thing in the middle where it overlaps and you're like, that's the bullseye, that's Nene Leakes, that's Vicki Gunvelson, that's Bethenny Frankel. So, I tend to agree with him. Just coming from a person who was on reality television, I was on the show Stripped. For those of you who are new to the channel, I was on the show Stripped on Bravo, and I really can say that I believe that the Bravo brand is someone who is real, but who is also interesting and without being hungry for television fame. Because at the end of the day, guys, the audience can see exactly who those types of people are, which is why someone like a Bethenny Frankel, just like he mentioned, someone like Vicki Gunvelson and Nene Leakes, they're all very polarizing, but they're all very real and intriguing people to watch. I think that's why people like Candy is a good example for me of someone who I don't ever think has to put on for the camera, whose life, by the nature of who she is, who she's married to, who her family is, their interactions, it's interesting. And so I feel like oftentimes what happens, like with a Claudia Jordan, to me, I feel like Claudia Jordan is better suited for radio than she is for a Housewives show or reality TV in general. Mostly because I feel like what she's better at is narrating situations and chiming in with her opinion more so than living a life that we want to see, if that makes any sense. And that's no disrespect to her. It's just about what makes for a great reality star. I personally never thought that I would make a good reality TV personality because I just feel like I live my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be anything. I'm not even trying to be anything as I'm delivering this information to you. What I'm doing is I'm passionate about it. I know it like the back of my hand, and I want to have a dialogue with you about it. And that's why I feel like hopefully a lot of you guys keep coming back. But the reality also was that Bravo found me interesting enough to want to follow me and see what happens when you take away all of my possessions. And I think that what it is that I'm not your typical person. You know what I'm saying? None of us are by nature of being individuals. It's just that I think that me as a person, I can be dramatic without trying to be dramatic, if that makes any sense. And I know a lot of you guys are like that. Comment below if you feel me what I'm saying. If you are a dramatic person, but you're not trying to be. You just react to situations. You know what I'm saying? You got the crazy facial expressions that you cannot control. You might cry when you get upset. You get angry easily. You are not afraid to be transparent with where you are to other people. And I think that's what makes a reality star very, very good. And I think that's why we really like Portia, is because she really does give us a very transparent view of her life, good, bad, or indifferent. And we've seen her going through the ups and downs and the fire. But anyway, I could go on and on about this topic. Guys, give me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about all of these stories. Let me know what your commentary is. You know, I work really hard each day to kind of bring you something new and something fresh and something interesting. But I'm also going to be working on doing some things that are very transparent on the other end. So let me know if you would like my personal stuff to go on a personal, under a personal video list on this channel, or if you prefer it on a different channel altogether so you guys can keep the news and the personal separate. I just want to know what the best route is for you guys Also, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation with Nene. Do you think that she was shading her co-stars? Do you think that this was related to something that's going on with the show? Because we know that she's going to be filming, or she's going to at least be at New York Pride this weekend on a float with Cynthia and Eva, who she's not on good terms with. So let me know what you guys think about that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Also, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation with Gina from the Real Housewives of Orange County. If you've ever been in a domestic violence situation yourself and how you handled it, comment down below, because I do try to read as many of those as possible. Also, let me know what you guys think about what Andy said about housewives that are interesting and that are real, and that's why some get fired. Are you surprised that a Claudia Jordan never stayed, that a Lisa Wu never stayed, that a Heather Dubrow didn't stay? Let me know your thoughts, because it kind of makes me surprised slightly that a Cynthia Bailey has lasted so long. No offense to her, I think she's a beautiful woman, but as a reality star, I just don't see it for her or for Teddy Mellencamp. But you guys let me know in the comments what y'all think, and I'm not trying to ever be rude or shady too much to anybody, but I want to give it to y'all real. And we will catch you guys in the next video. Oh, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit the notification bell button, and I will see you in the next video.